Hey guys, what's up? It's munclesonkey. So I just finished off a cow fights task. If any of you watched my cow fight slayer guide, which I'm going to be doing a slayer guide for every single monster that Curdle assigns that I actually feel are worth doing XP wise. This is the loot I got from the task. I'll just price check it. I probably broke even because I did use a cannon for this task, and I don't know if I used 900k worth of cannonballs, but probably more like 500, 600k worth of cannonballs. So I might have profited a little bit. I'm not going to be a cannoning normally. I just wanted to see how good the XP was if you did cannon. Anyway, let's go back to Curdle and get ourselves a good task, hopefully, to start off this episode. Alright, here we go to get a new task from Curdle. Hopefully, she's going to assign me like Armadillo task, QBD, something like that, something awesome. Or we could get ice strike worms. As you can probably tell by the tone of my voice there, that is not what I consider awesome at all. But I will break out my ice strike worm mask because I have yet to use it, and it gives you like bonus XP and double drops. So who knows? Could get like a double staff of light drop, but that's really not too much to look forward to. Hey guys, what's up? Just finished off an Ottoman Town's task, and it's always a very sad thing when I do finish this task because it's one of the best. But if we price check everything, made about 830k in about half an hour, so that's pretty good. I'm gonna go get a new task and kind of hoping for, I don't know, like water fiends or something that's just really good XP. But anyway, I'm kind of sad that I still am yet to get a glove or effigy or a crest spot or anything, and I don't know, like 20 straight automatons tasks. I know it'll happen eventually. I just Also, one thing that I'm going to start trying to remember to do every day is like pick up AK Tackle from this guy. You just talk to him after you've completed, I can't remember if it's the hard or elite Karamja tasks, but it's one of those two. But yeah, picking up Tokul slowly but surely daily from that guy is a lot easier than actually killing Tsar monsters for it. And I know there are going to be instances where I die with my Tukul zone, forget to protect it, because I was once at about 600 to 700k Tukul in that range, and I now have like 80k Tukul. So gradually over time, just from dying with this ring, I've had to replace a lot of it. Boom, Eretz task. That is actually sounding a lot better than Water Fiends. So I didn't say that this is the task that I wanted, but in all honesty, getting tasks like automatons and Eretz, that's awesome. Hopefully the next task is Gano beads. Then that would be like a perfect Slayer string of tasks. I finished what is rapidly becoming one of my favorite tasks in the game in Eretz, and I finally managed to get a Ceramic Scale. It had been like many Eretz tasks since I last got a Ceramic Scale, and I thought they were supposed to be common, but apparently not. Anyway, Eretz, I gotta say, there are very, very, very good combat XP as well as, you know, quite good money. I probably getting around 3.5 mil an hour doing them on task, because that task took me around 50 minutes, and I made around, I think, a little bit over 3 mil. So yeah, about 3.5 mil an hour, just doing this task. And then eventually one day, if I ever decide to go for like all combat 200 mils, because I could definitely see myself doing that. All skill 200 mils, heck no, but all combat 200 mils, yes, I could definitely do that one day. I'll probably do Eretz for at least the melee portion of that, because they're just one of the fastest ways in the game to train, as well as very, very good money. And decent charms, you know, like 77 crimsons, 7 blues. So you're looking at probably like 90 crimsons and 9 blues an hour, something like that. Anyway, I'm going to go do ice strike worms, which kind of sucks, but they're decent, I guess. So we finished the ice strike worms task as lag starts to set in, and I'm also up to 350 mil cash now. I sold some stuff in my bank, but if I price check all of this, I actually didn't even manage to get a 1 mil loot for this entire Slayer task. I was like, come on, I can finally get a mil from a Slayer task, just 1 mil. It's not that hard. I even got like a clean Snapdragon drop that helped add to that, but ice strikes are just crap money. But nests are starting to go up, so maybe that'll change soon. I gotta say, whoever designed the ice strike worm hat, what exactly were you doing? My character looks really dumb right now. But let's get another task. And hopefully it'll be something cool. Like Eretz would be awesome. Grafolaru's not so awesome. I will be skipping those because no thanks. Let's try again. Eretz. Let's go. Let's do it. Firewatch. Another skip task. We got Cow Fights as a task. I could do some Cow Fight King debatably. What I am going to do is upload a video. Well, first I have to make the video, upload the video. Then I'm going to do my Enlightenment Aura, because the Enlightenment Aura resets in 6 hours from now. So I kind of have to get that done before it resets. Otherwise, I believe I lose out on Enlightenment for a week, and I really don't want to do that. But when I come back, if I'm in the mood to do some KK, and I have friends online that want to KK, which is not the easiest thing in the world to find since Araxor came out, then I will definitely do some KK for this task. But if I can't find anyone good online to KK, I'll probably just kill the Marauders. All done with this Ascension's task. Overall, this was a really good task. My pack yak is entirely full, like up to the brim, with a whole bunch of rune and adamant items, which all adds up probably to about, in my experience, when I've done Ascension tasks, you normally get like 400k or so in regular items, and also 83 Crimson Charms, which is really good. Unfortunately, I've also had 2 Rarity tasks straight in a row where I haven't gotten any keys, but oh well, they're not worth a ton anyway, unless you get a Primus or a Quintus. Time for a new task. How about Armadillo task? That sounds kind of fun. For some reason, I actually want to do God War's Dungeon. No, I don't know what's wrong with me either. Celestial Dragons task, aka Celery Dragons. That's fair enough. I haven't had them in a while. Kuridel kind of subsided with her obsession that she had with Celery Dragons for a little while, and she was giving them to me every other task. But Celery Dragons means like another 200 Crimsons or so, and some good XP. I'm very, very nearly 120 HP, so maybe after this Celery Dragon task, a couple more good XP tasks, and I should have it. So I'm kind of excited for that. Okay guys, I'm finished with my Necreals task, and I got myself a new weapon. Yes, I got the Noxious Longbow, because it was actually cheaper than Dual Ascensions. I sold my Dual Ascensions, bought a Noxious Longbow, and I believe the Noxious Longbow was like 6 mil cheaper. It's probably going to drop a little bit, but the main reason I bought this was actually for twofold. Kind of an interesting word, I love using that. Don't get very many opportunities to use that word, but when you do, you gotta take advantage of them. But first of all is for Calphite King. Calphite King is weak versus arrows, so I'm going to have a 15% accuracy increase using this rather than using my Ascension crossbows. And I am planning for a future series. I know I've hinted a lot towards this series, but not really said what it is going to be, and I'm not going to until I release the first episode. But I will be doing a lot of Calphite King, so having this bow is really going to help me out accuracy-wise there. Also for Celery Dragons tasks, I found that ever since Legacy came out, Celery Dragons defense was buffed a lot. And I splash on them unless I use Dragonbane bolts, and I kind of don't like using Dragonbane bolts because you do go through a couple hundred every single task, even with the completion escape and even with using abilities, picking them up. So you do go through, well, maybe like 100 or so, but still you go through them. I don't like that because they take forever to make and they're annoying to make. So the bow is going to have 15% accuracy against Celery Dragons as well. Also, obviously, the Dragonbane bolts do a little less damage than normal bolts do, so I'll actually be able to kill Celery Dragons faster now with the Araxite bow, because I'll have enough accuracy to hit them all the time, so I won't need to use Dragonbanes, but they have the full damage of level 90 bolts. So, Celery Dragon task will now be faster. Free Water Talisman. But I also got the staff, if you watched my video a couple days ago where I showed me buying that, so I'll probably be using that a decent amount just to test out. I still want to do a lot of tasks with melee because I need melee XP. Gargoyles, that is a task I could test the staff on, but I'm not going to be doing that one because don't feel like it. I normally do gargoyles. I'm just skipping this one. Of course I'm skipping fire giants. I always skip fire giants. This is a long clip. I apologize for that. Celery Dragons. Okay, well, I get to do the Noxious Longbow and test it out there, which should be great. Hopefully I get a mage task next because I really want to use my staff. I did test it out at Eretz, and it's insane at Eretz. It's just complete rape, complete utter destruction at Eretz. So I imagine that task is going to be amazing Slayer XP from now on. I'm all done with that Celery Dragons task, and I gotta say, this new bow, it does work against Celery Dragons. This is significantly better than the Ascension bow was. I also got 2 Visages during this task, one in my inventory and one that I banked with my yak. So we're going to be price checking all the loot from this task, and I probably shaved a good 5, maybe even 10 minutes at least from using this bow versus using the Ascension crossbows, because I had to use Dragonbane bolts with the Ascension crossbows, which were nice, but they have lower damage than like the Araxite arrows do. So I'm liking this new bow already, and especially because it's going to be better at KK, this is really going to help. So if we price check all the loot from this task, it should come up to a really nice amount. I got 140 Dragon Bones because it was 141 Celestials, and then I buried 1 Dragon Bone by accident. So, in total during this task, it looks like I made nearly 5 mil. That is really good profit, and it only took me a little bit under an hour. Obviously, you're not going to get 2 Visages from this task every time, but still, it is pretty good money. I also got 140k Slayer XP. I put a Slayer XP counter up for that task alone, so 140k Slayer XP in a little less than an hour. I mean, you really can't argue with that. That's really good. Time for a new task, and I'm kind of hoping for Eretz because I want to try out like how absolutely amazing that Noxious Staff would be. Grifolaroos, I'm going to skip. They are decent tasks. They are worth doing. So if you are low on Slayer points, I wouldn't recommend skipping that one. Grotworms, that's always a skip for me. Under 100k 100k Slayer XP per hour, not worth doing in my opinion. Dagonos, oh, I guess so. I'll probably just cannon them, though I won't actually do any Dagony Kings because I'm grinding hard for that 120 HP and I'm almost there. Well, guys, I lied. I'm sorry. I did end up doing a trip to Dagonos Kings. I just wanted to test out like all my level 90 weapons there, and I have had probably the crappiest Dagonos Kings trip I've ever had in a long time. Which is fine. It's not the end of the world or anything. But I did do some testing out of like the XP rates of the Dagonos Kings, and I was averaging 112 DKs per hour, which is a lot more than I was averaging with my previous test. But I was using, the first time I tested Dagonos Kings, the XP rate that's on my Slayer spreadsheet, that was using Royal Crossbow and Chaotic Staff. And now I have all level 90 weapons, and I was killing 112 DKs per hour, which is 335k combat XP per hour, and about 120k Slayer per hour. So it's actually pretty good. Only drops I got 2 Berserker Rings, which are like a mil, I think. Yeah, a little bit over a mil. Got a Mud Battle Staff, which is worth crap all, and an Archer's Ring, which is worth crap all. And then added all together, about 7 mil, which is pretty decent, I guess. I did get a lot of Earth Talismans. I didn't get a single Water Talisman drop, but I got like 6 Earth Talisman drops, so that was pretty much a scam, since the Water Talismans are worth way more, and they're the exact same rarity, I believe. But yeah, 223 Dagonoth bones, 223 Dagonoth hides, that really adds up. I just note the bones with my Fremy boots, and then bank the hides with my yak. Let's go get a new task. In the future, I don't know if I will be doing more DK tasks. It depends if I'm in the mood. Like, I managed to do that task in under 2 hours, but still, it is kind of a commitment, and you have to, like, sit down and focus the entire time you're at the task, so... and also there's no charms or effigies from Dagonoth Kings. That's a huge minus from them. But I should have plenty of charms for 200 mil summoning easily. Getting 200 mil Slayer, even if I did all the Daggy King tasks. And also, D-Hatchets are only worth 2 mil, but they might be going up with Elf City, because Crystal Hatchets are coming out, and you need a D-Hatchet to make a Crystal Hatchet. So hopefully that happens. Looks like our next task will be Ice Strike Worms, so I'll be able to try out the staff there and let you guys know how it goes. And if the staff is much better than the Chaotic Staff at Ice Strike Worms, I imagine it probably will be. All done with my Ice Strike Worms task, and admittedly, I'm pretty glad that task was over. It was pretty fast. This staff that I'm using is awesome. I'd say it's probably at least 10% faster. On the Ice Strike Worms, it just hits constant 4,000s, even with like basic abilities. It's very, very good. But I can't stand the whole fact of running around and having to click on all the individual mounds to get the Ice Strike Worms out of the ground. I just find that extremely irritating. Okay, next task time. Let's go for Eretz, please, if that's not too much to ask. And no, do not give me Ice Strike Worms again. Griffola Pines. I can't skip that one. I can justify scribbing Griffola Ruse, but not Griffola Pines. These are very, very good XP. And quite a quick task, so I'll be back in probably just a couple minutes, really. The task is complete, and I managed to get myself 3 Griffolic Shields and a Griffolic Wand, which is kind of weird, because I've done, like, I don't know, at least 5 or 6, probably more than that, tasks of these creatures, and I only had, like, 1 Griffolic Shield in my entire Slayer tab, and I get 3 all in one Slayer tab. Oh, someone I have added is also at the Fairy Ring. Anyway, let's go get a new task. What's it gonna be, Eretz, please? Necreals? Yeah, fine, I'll do them. I'm not really too excited about that task, though. I don't really know how you could be excited about Necreals, because it's Necreals, but I don't know, their drops aren't amazing. It's pretty self-explanatory, but they are pretty good XP, so I'll go ahead and do them, and I get to use my sexy Noxious Longbow some more. I just finished off the Necreals task, took hardly any time at all. Let's turn it in for a little bit of cash, only about 88k, but it all adds up. And of course, I did bank as many ashes as I could. I didn't bother like teleporting to the bank or anything, but I just banked as many as my yak recharging summoning time would allow. Time to pick up a new task. I'm still hoping for Eretz, but the odds of that happening seem to be getting less and less. And we're gonna get Fire Giants? Heck no. Well, there's another shot to get Eretz, I suppose, at a little over 11k points. Slowly adding up, although I have had to cancel a ton of tasks recently. Necreals again? I'm sorry, Curdell. I'm going to have to pass on this one. You know, I rarely cancel Necreals. I know they're very, very good XP, but I just did them. I can't do them again. I'm sorry. And it looks like we're going to be doing Black Demons, so that's probably a mage task, actually, because it is fastest to mage them, at least from what I can remember. So I'll probably finally get to use my Noxious Staff a little bit during Slayer. So I did use my new Noxious Staff on the whole Black Demon's task. It wasn't quite as impressive as it has been other places, but I think it still went pretty well. And I also banked a whole bunch of ashes, which, you know, probably wasn't really worth it, considering like how much longer it made the task. Probably made the task at least a couple minutes longer. Most people would probably say it's not worth it, considering like I'm going for 120 Slayer, but I really like to prioritize money, and I don't care if it's not amazing money per hour. Picking up the ashes, it just means I have to do less money making in the long run, which is really what sounds good to me. So, Curdle, my old pal, want to give me Eretz? Want to do it? Griffolarus? Well, that's not going to happen, I'm sorry, they're just a little bit too annoying. And so was having a bank pin. Really, I had Griffolarus, I cancelled them. I got Necrils, I canceled that, and then I got Griffolarus again. Well, I'll be back when I actually find a good task that I want to do. Griffola Pines. Curdle just won't give up tonight, but I guess I'll do Griffola Pines. That's not a task that I can really justify canceling, as I said earlier. I also managed to get an Elder Seed. I think this is my first ever Elder Seed, which is a little bit worrying since these necklaces have been out for a long time. But I am wearing the Crystal Amulet on tasks where I don't wear the Demon Horn necklace. I know it's a bit more efficient to wear like a necklace that boosts mage, but it's not a huge difference, and I like getting these Armadillo shards in case they give like 10k XP each when Elf City comes out. They're definitely going to be worth storing up. That automaton's task took literally no time at all. It took like 15 minutes. I killed them very, very quickly. I am using kind of a new improved ability rotation. I think I finally got it down. This is like the optimal rotation, at least for Slayer with Revolution. It's working really well for a while. Ooh, water orbs. Oh well. I'll leave them on the ground. It's like 10k on the ground going to waste. Oh well. There could be worse things in life, but for a while I had these two, Sever and Slice, switched, and I was getting to some points where my character wasn't using abilities, so unfortunately I have to use Slice over Sever, even though Sever does a lot more damage, and then Decimate over Sever, because Decimate has the faster cooldown, and then you want Dismember first, because Dismember does like the most damage, but you have to have it first on your action bar to be most effective, because you want to hit an enemy with this ability first. Anyway, our next task is going to be Avian Seas, which means I will be doing Armadillo boss, but I won't be doing that yet because I have to work on a video to upload today, and I'd rather slay, but oh well, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Finish our Iron Dragons task after a few hours of struggling with YouTube uploading problems, and well, anyway, the video that I was going to upload, Player on Ports Guide, hopefully it's up on YouTube by this point, because this is the video that's supposed to be at least coming after the Player on Ports Guide. Yeah, it won't upload. I've tried it about 4 times, and it keeps on saying, like, YouTube could not process your file or something, which is a bunch of BS. Obviously, YouTube's just kind of glitchy at the moment. No, I'm not doing Spiritual Mages, but I believe the last task I left off with was Armadillo boss, and I didn't get any drops. I didn't record the ending of the task because I was on Skype, but yeah, no drops from that or anything. Just got a few Dwarfweed Seeds, and our next task is going to be Water Fiends, which is pretty awesome. So, the general idea for this Armadillo task was I was going to do hard mode Armadillo, because the Armadillian Soul Stone would be really, really useful for future armor tasks, so I don't have to get kill count anymore. And I was doing some hard mode armor. I heard it was really easy. You can pretty much no-food it with the Vampirism Aura. Completely true. You can pretty much no-food the hard Armadillo. He really doesn't hit very hard. All you got to do is avoid the Whirlwinds, which I didn't think would be that big of a deal. But I had to log out to go to dinner, and then after I logged out, I had to re-get kill count. And then I came back, got kill count again, so I've gotten kill count twice. I went in on the first kill. My brother runs into the room. I turn around and look to him, tell him go away, and when I look back, a whirlwind has spawned right on top of me and KO'd me, so I'm dead. And then I have to go back, re-get kill count again. And yeah, so I had to re-get Armadillo kill count 3 times, and it really sucked, but I did get this many adamant bars, so 600k worth of adamant bars. And the drops for hard mode Armadillo and like the 5 kills that I did were really good. I got 2 coin drops. One of them was like 40k, one of them was like 45k. And then I got this in a drop, and I got 2 drops of used seeds. So it does look like hard mode Armadillo would actually be worth it, at least until I get the Soul Stone. So probably next Armadillo task I'll try that out. But this was just a really awful experience. In the next episode, I will be back with 234 Zami kills, so we'll end off here, just a quick peek at the Slayer tab hasn't really increased a whole lot. Pretty much the only drops that I've really gotten were from that one Dagonoth King's task that you saw earlier in the video, and obviously like Bandos stuff from doing a little bit of Bandos for a test video. Other than that, thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned to the next episode, which should be coming out in a few days, so see you later.